Hey everybody, it's Dan Sfera, www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I had an interesting interaction, and Don Walters, the other guru, kind of covered it, but I'm going to do a quick follow-up here. I had an interaction with a psychiatrist online, thanks to social networking or whatever you call it, and I'll give him a free plug here. His website, he's got a great blog regarding psychiatry. It's called AskDrO.com. AskDRO.com, and his Twitter handle is the same. It's at AskDrO. Anyways, he's got a great deal of clinical experience. So he has his own private practice, got his blog. He's based out in Atlanta. Sounds like he's doing well in terms of private practice. He asked me how he can get involved in clinical trials. And I thought this might be a good topic for a lot of doctors out there who are kind of in the same situation. You know, you have a big private practice, you've been doing it for a while, and you'd like to expand your knowledge and your expertise and maybe get into clinical trials. And that's a good thing to do. My dad did that, and maybe I'll get him to do a blog post later on. But right now he's not here, so I got you're stuck with me and Don. Um, Here's what I would do. I would find a doctor in your area who's conducting studies, and maybe it's one of your colleagues, maybe it's someone who covers for you on the weekends or vice versa. Um, and I would ask him if you can be a sub-investigator for some of his trials. Then you can kind of learn how he conducts studies. You can actually do it, get some hands-on experience, do some rating scales, things like that. And then after 2 or 3 protocols, or maybe even more, of being a sub-investigator, you can start approaching some of these sponsors and saying, hey, I have some experience here, look at my CV. I'd like to do a study as a principal investigator for your next trial. And as long as you tell them you have a large private practice, which it seems like you do, they would probably give you an opportunity because of the fact that you have your own private practice that you have control over. That means you have potential study participants. They love that. I've noticed research companies like Pfizer or the other drug sponsors that are doing studies. They're kind of moving away from the large mega site clinical trial companies that do nothing but clinical trials. They really want more research naive patients in their studies, and it sounds like you have a large private practice and you're the type of people they would actually target. So you're already off to a great start. What I would do while you're sub-investigating for your colleague and building up your resume is I would find a study coordinator, because they're going to do most of the work for you, and tell them, hey, I'm going to start a new company, a clinical trials company, and in exchange for your knowledge and expertise, I'll give you some equity. And what I would do is I would have an arrangement, maybe 75% equity for you, the PI, the study doctor, and 25% equity for the study coordinator, and then you can work out salary and such later. But since they're getting equity, you have a lot of room to negotiate there, because they're going to have 25% of your company, and the potential for the company could be great if you do it the right way. So once you do get a study, and you can be the actual principal investigator, and you've already identified a coordinator, you've set up your structure. You can pull from your private practice and say, hey, I've got this new trial, I can enroll you in the study, this and that, and you should get a lot of good study participants through that. And then as you keep doing a good job for these sponsors, they might send you more and more trials in the future. So give it a year or two like this where you're breaking even, just kind of paying the bills, and then you can start seeing some profits. You want to also ask yourself how much time you're willing to commit to research, because it's not easy, and it's very different than your private practice. It's very paperwork heavy, and that's why you need a study coordinator. So make sure that you identify to yourself how much time you want to spend on clinical research. But it's a great model. My company, Southwest Clinical Trials, we kind of have that hybrid research model where our study doctors also have private practices within the sites, and the two businesses complement each other very well. But just don't be careful not to mix the two businesses together. Make sure they complement each other. But as far as finances and employees, keep those two separate. And if you have any other questions, ask Don and I. There's a whole lot to cover. We're not consultants, but we do run our own research clinic, so we do know a little bit about what we're talking about, and we've been doing this since about 2004. So hope this helps you and any other doctors out there that are looking to get involved in clinical trials and they don't know how. I'd be happy to help you, anytime. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks a lot.